Okay, let's dive into this. We're looking at a pretty significant new agreement coming out of British Columbia. It looks like it might finally resolve a conflict that's been running for, well, decades.
That's right. It's a tripartite deal, involves the Tudo-Quatten, the BC government, and also Taseko Mines Limited. And it's all centered around those new prosperity mineral tenures.
Yeah, and this whole situation, it isn't new, is it? The conflict over mining near Tutanbini or Fish Lake. That's been going on for ages.
Oh, absolutely. Over 30 years. Huge cultural and ecological importance for the Turquoitan right in their territory. And it wasn't just, a minor disagreement. We saw environmental assessments, lots of litigation, even Supreme Court cases. The nation was strongly opposed.
Right. So for this deep dive, what we want to do is really unpack what this new agreement actually delivers. Specifically, what are the outcomes and benefits for the Tuquotan Nation? We're sticking just to the source material provided here.
Okay. Well, the first thing that really jumps out, the absolute core outcome, seems to be securing their consent. The agreement is explicit. Any future mineral exploration, any potential mine development in that new prosperity area, it now requires the Tuquotan Nation's consent. Period.
Wow. Okay. So after all that time fighting against development proposals,
Yeah.
they now hold the key. They get to decide.
Exactly. It's a fundamental shift.
Chief Roger William put it very clearly, didn't he? He said, this agreement protects our rights of consent in the Chilcotin area. That's huge.
Yeah, he did. He even mentioned, the personal impact this conflict lasted his oldest son's entire life. So being able to turn the page, as he put it, is massive.
So how is that consent actually locked in? Is it just a promise?
No, it's formalized. There are agreements with both Taseko Mines and the province. And the provincial agreement, this is important, it's intended to be prescribed under Section 7 of the Environmental Assessment Act.
Okay, what does that mean, practically speaking?
Well, it basically embeds their consent requirement right into the province's own legal environmental review process. It gives it real teeth and provides a path forward that isn't just more court battles. It aligns with reconciliation commitments.
Got it. So consent is the absolute cornerstone. But you mentioned other benefits. What else is in this deal for the nation?
Yes, definitely. Taseko is contributing a 22.5% equity interest in the mineral tenures themselves. This goes into a trust set up for the future benefit of the Tuquotan Nation.
An equity interest, so a potential future share in any value derived from those tenures.
That's the idea. And crucially, that interest is transferable to the nation if down the road they decide they want to pursue some form of development. It gives them options and a potential stake.
Interesting. So it's not just veto power, but potential participation on their own terms. And the province is chipping in, too.
The province is putting in $10 million specifically for Tuquotan cultural development programs, plus another $1.5 million to help them participate in a related planning process.
Okay, let's talk about that planning process. It sounds like a big piece of this, too. The Dazikox-Nexwaguezin area.
Yes, it's a large area, about 321,000 hectares. The province and the nation have agreed to a long-term land use planning process for this whole territory.
And the goal there is?
The goal is predictability, really, to set a clear direction for land use that protects the ecology, the culture, but also looks at economic sustainability for the area. It's described as being relationship-based. They want broad participation. Preliminary work starts soon, over the next 18 months or so, aiming for the full process to kick off in 2027.
So it puts the nation more in the driver's seat for planning the future of that land base.
Precisely.
It really sounds like a turning point. Chief Lennon Solomon said it was a historic moment for our people and for reconciliation. He added, I am grateful that we can move forward as Tuquotan in a positive way and put our energy and attention into our own priorities as a nation. That sums it up powerfully.
It does. And looking at the bigger picture, based on the materials, what's really significant is the precedent this might set. It shows, perhaps, that reconciliation can actually happen when First Nations consent is respected, when their own laws and governance are empowered. This wasn't just tweaking around the edges. It fundamentally shifted the power dynamic over this territory by centering Chilcotin consent.
Right. So wrapping this up, the core achievement here is that secured right of consent for the nation. That seems transformative. But it's also coupled with tangible benefits like the equity stake, the funding, and crucially, this collaborative nation-involved path for long-term land use planning.
Yeah, it's a multifaceted resolution built on that foundation of consent.
Okay, so here's something to think about as we finish this deep dive. Consider what this specific outcome where consent isn't just requested but required might mean more broadly. How could this model influence the way First Nations, governments, and industry approach resource development right across Canada in the future?